You queued up 10 clips in Seedance 2.5, and the bill hit what Hailuo AI would charge for 100. Same output, wildly different cost. Seedance 2.5 is built for long-form, reference-heavy production. Hailuo AI is built for fast, cheap iteration. One of them is your default tool. Let's figure out which. Alright, one of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. So test 1, cost. The number that should give you pause is this. Community reports put Seedance 2.5 at anywhere from $2.82 to $6.30 for a single 30-second clip. And that's not a subscription fee, that's one clip. Run 20 of those testing an idea, and you're already over $100 before you've got anything worth keeping. I ran the per second math, and it's pretty stark. Hailuo AI sits at about 0.03 per second, verified pricing for a 10-second 1080p clip at 30 cents flat. Seedance's community estimated rate lands at 0.09 to 0.21 per second, so roughly 3 to 7 times more expensive per second of footage, and I couldn't find an official price from Seedance anywhere, which means those estimates could move. Hailuo AI takes cost, and it's not subtle. 30 cents a clip versus several dollars a clip is a real gap that changes how freely you can experiment. And Hailuo AI also has a free tier with daily credits, so you can test before you spend anything. That puts Hailuo AI up 1-0 on the scoreboard. I've burned enough credits on AI video tools to know that per-clip pricing bites way harder than the subscription number suggests. Drop a comment if the costs surprised you too. Okay, so test 2, coding benchmark performance. A lot of AI tool comparisons run these scores as a quick proxy for how smart the model is. So you might be wondering whether Seedance 2.5 or Hailuo AI has an edge on reasoning or code quality, especially if you're thinking about pairing one of them with an automation workflow. I searched for any published benchmark score for either model and came up empty, which makes sense once you realize both Seedance 2.5 and Hailuo AI are video generation models, not language models. Coding benchmarks just don't apply here, so there's no score to compare and no winner to call. This one's a wash. Neither model is a coding tool, so no score changes, and the scoreboard stays Hailuo AI 1, Seedance 2.50, with one dimension set aside. Now, test 3, speed. Picture a Friday afternoon where you need to iterate on a scene concept 10 times before a client call. Every render that takes 5 minutes is another 5 minutes of you sitting there, and if you're running a longer clip, that wait compounds fast. The real question is whether either tool is actually fast enough to keep ideas moving. What got me here is how lopsided this is. Community tests clocked Hailuo AI at 47 seconds average to render a full 1-minute 1080p clip, which is 42% faster than the industry average according to those same tests, and Seedance 2.5 has no published speed figure at all, which is a pretty telling gap for a tool aimed at longer, more complex clips. Hailuo AI wins speed on the ROI case alone. At 47 seconds per minute of footage, you can run 10 iterations in the time a slower tool does too, and that directly multiplies how much you get done per dollar spent. So Hailuo AI up 2-0 with one tied. So Hailuo AI is ahead on cost and speed, but we still have output limits and deployment coming up. And those two tests are where Seedance 2.5 could make a real case for itself. If you're producing anything longer than a 10-second clip or need 4K output, the math might flip for your specific workflow, so let's see. Test 4, context and output limits. You're building a short film scene that needs a continuous 25-second take, a specific character face from a reference image, and the final export has to hold up at 4K for a client presentation. If your tool caps out at 10 seconds and 1080p, you're stitching clips together and hoping the cuts don't show, and that's a production problem, not a minor inconvenience. I didn't expect the gap here to be this wide. Seedance 2.5 generates up to 30 seconds in a single take, 3 times longer than Hailuo AI's 10-second cap, and it accepts up to 50 multimodal reference inputs for precise character and scene control. On top of that, Seedance outputs up to 4K with region-level editing and green screen tools built in, while Hailuo AI tops out at 1080p with no published editing features. Seedance 2.5 takes output limits cleanly. The 30-second single takes, 4K resolution, and 50 reference inputs is a feature set. Hailuo AI just doesn't match at any price, so Seedance 2.5 gets on the board and it's now Hailuo AI 2. Seedance 2.5 with one tied. Test 5, deployment and modality. You've picked your tool, you're ready to ship, and then you find out it only runs in a browser on desktop, or it only connects to one specific platform ecosystem. If you're building a workflow that needs to hit an API or pipe into an existing app, where a tool lives matters just as much as what it can do. When you map out the ecosystem, the picture gets interesting. Seedance 2.5 runs across ByteDance's Jimeng, Dreamina, and Dubao platforms, plus a direct Volcano Engine API for developers, and it adds reference to video mode with up to 50 inputs that Hailuo AI doesn't match. Hailuo AI's native apps across web, Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android are more immediately accessible, but Seedance's API depth gives it the distribution edge for production pipelines. Seedance 2.5 takes deployment on the cost of integration case. The Volcano Engine API and ByteDance ecosystem give it reach that a consumer app layer can't match for enterprise pipelines, and that ties the scoreboard at Seedance 2.52, Hailuo AI 2, with one set aside. Seedance 2.5 wins on production depth. You get 30-second single-take generations extendable to 180 seconds in beta, up to 50 multimodal reference inputs for exact character and scene control, 4K output with region-level editing and green screen tools, and deep API distribution through ByteDance's Jimeng, Dreamina, and Volcano Engine for developer and enterprise workflows. Hailuo AI wins on economics and speed. It's roughly 10 times cheaper per clip, renders a full minute of footage in about 47 seconds, ships a free tier with daily credits so you can test without spending anything, and runs native apps on web, Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. If you need long-form control, 30-second takes, 4K, and 50 reference inputs, pick Seedance 2.5. If you need to iterate fast and cheap, Hailuo AI at 30 cents a clip is the clear default, and the unit economics aren't close. So for most people, that's the whole decision. One thing the docs don't flag: Hailuo AI's free tier clips come out watermarked by default with no batch remove option. So if you test an idea on free credits and want to use that exact clip, you're re-rendering it on a paid plan. Budget for that re-render cost when you're comparing the free tier against Seedance's expected entry pricing. If the cost question here got you thinking about whether the big language models are worth their price tags too, I ran the same kind of breakdown on Claude Opus 4.8. The video is called Claude Opus 4.8 Still Worth Using, and it's worth watching before you lock in your stack.